Well, hi everybody. Welcome to the first episode for the 2015 season of the Garden Girl. You're probably going to see me really smiling today. We are in one of my favorite places ever, actually. And I have a really special guest with me today. He's probably one of the biggest components to where I am, why I am, and how I am today as you guys see me. So when we come back, I'm going to introduce you to this very special guest of mine. So grab something to drink, stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
WJER and TV2 would like to introduce you to a new website, WJERTV2.com, where you can watch exciting high school football, soccer, and volleyball replays from TV2 Sports on your home computer, smartphone, or tablet. Also watch the latest episodes of TV2's original programming, Sports Talk, The Garden Girl, The Not So Shy Chef, Off the Record, and Medical Minutes, as well as catch up on local community news and search for local businesses. So make sure to check out the new WJERTV2.com community website where everything's local.
Well, I woke up to the sound of silence and cars were cutting like knives in a fist fight. And I found you with a tear in your eye, your head in the curtains and heart like the 4th of July.
You swore and said, we are not shining stars. This I know, I never said we are. If you're lost and alone, or you're sinking like a stone, carry on. May your past be the sound of your feet upon the ground. Carry on. Carry on, carry on. We are shining stars. Carry on, carry on. We are who we are.
At Bear Carpet One, we're more interested in hearing about your needs than talking about our achievements. Here you will find the best selection of floor covering in the region. Currently we are featuring Lee's Carpet. They have been producing carpet since 1846 and still offer the same quality that has made them famous. Visit our storefront located in Sugar Creek next to McDonald's for our store-wide sale from September 5th through September 13th with special financing. Bear Carpet One, where beautiful is made affordable.
Hi, welcome back. Well, in case you're wondering why we're kind of in Ohio State gear, I'd like to introduce you to one of my favorite people, Dr. Robert McMahon. We are here at OSU ATI today. Go Bucks! And we're here with him, and what I'd like you guys to find out why he's so special to me is, Dr. McMahon, what is your role here at Ohio State University ATI?
Well, first, Heather, I just want to thank you for coming today to find out more about ATI and to share with the fine people in Tuscarawas County what we're all about. Well, I'm an associate professor here in the Division of Horticultural Technologies, and I am the coordinator here of the Greenhouse and Nursery Management Program. So as such, I'm in charge of teaching the courses in the greenhouse specialization area. That's my area of growing flowers and teaching these wonderful students that I've had the pleasure to teach for 29 years now. And so they learn all the basic growing techniques for bedding plants, which you're seeing here, in flats and hanging baskets, potted flowering crops. Another major crop that we grow are poinsettias, and also foliage plants as well. So they get a broad experience, a broad depth of experience growing floriculture crops. And so I oversee the entire process, plus I get to teach courses as well.
Right, correct. And this was one of my main teachers. And what you're seeing behind us with the students is exactly what I did here for over 2 years. And I believe this place really holds, to me, the key is the hands-on. Would you not say that compared to a lot of different degrees and and types of majors, that there's a lot of hands-on here.
Absolutely. That's what sets ATI apart from the other campus locations of Ohio State. We're a 2-year degree or associate degree granting campus here, and as such, we emphasize experiential learning. That's the new term these days, or hands-on experience. So when the students come here, not only do they get classroom instruction, as you know, you actually do it as far as growing the crops, mixing up fertilizers, scouting for pests, mixing the soil, putting whitewash on. You learn the actual hands-on skills, and that's
Which
what
I
makes
remember.
it so much fun. Yes,
I remember we did all this, and this, you know, behind me, seeing the students, like I said, this looks so familiar to me. It's like it was yesterday, you know, and you can see begonias, verbena, I mean, lantana, many crops we grow up here, and not just annuals. There's perennials that we grow, and
yes.
the azalea. I mean, it's broad, tropicals.
We try to grow a little bit of everything to give the students as much experience as possible, so that when they graduate, they are snapped up by the industry, and they are. So that tells me I'm doing my job, because the students are actively recruited not only for internships but for full-time jobs, as you well know, being a graduate.
Yes.
Being you were a delight when you were here, and I admired your passion for working with plants and your enthusiasm and your work ethic.
Yes.
It's students like this character here that makes my job so much fun.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. When we come back, what I'd like to go over here, I'm going to have Dr. Bob and maybe even some of the students go over what all they're growing right now and why are they growing what they're growing, not just for experience, but what are they going to do with all these plants? I mean, man, there's a lot of plants here. So stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to find that out.
I'm John Maselli, and I would like to welcome you to the Sunnyside Store restaurant. Since 1999, we have served over 500,000 meals. We specialize in steak, pasta, and the patron special, ribs. The Sunnyside Store is located at 5495 North Worcester Avenue in Peral. Hours are Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday, we open at 9 a.m. for breakfast. For more information or to schedule an event in the banquet room for groups of 40 or smaller, call 330-364-5474. This is John Maselli inviting you to the Sunnyside Store restaurant.
Hi, I'm 1450 WJER's Bill Morgan, inviting you to join me on television Wednesday evenings at 7 and Friday afternoons at 5 for TV2 Sports Talk. Sports Talk is your weekly look inside high school football, volleyball, soccer, and more. Look for guest appearances from your favorite area coaches and players. TV2 Sports Talk, Wednesday evenings at 7 and Friday afternoons at 5 on DMG Channel 2 on Time Warner Cable.
As a parent, we always want what's best for our child. In the case of one child, it may be going off to college. In another case, staying home and going to college. And yet, in other cases, it could be going right into the workforce. But how will they have the skills to do that? Buckeye Career Center has been the answer for one of our daughters. She's learning to do things with her hands that are going to be very valuable for her in the workplace. And we're excited we have Buckeye to thank for that.
Adults who return to Buckeye Career Center to continue their education usually have one goal in mind. They want the opportunity for a better job. The fact is, adult education programs at Buckeye Career Center are less expensive and provide greater opportunities for job placement following graduation. It's your future. Get the facts. Buckeye Career Center. We put people to work. Find out more about your future at buckeyecareercenter.org.
Welcome back. I'd like you guys to find out, I think this is one of the few instances where you guys might get a behind the scenes look at what really goes on in a greenhouse. Like when you see your plant sitting at a garden center or at a grocery store even for that matter. How did they get there? You know, what has to happen? How long does this take to get these into your gardens? So what I'd like to do is, you know, I think a lot of times people don't understand when they look at a 4-inch pot, for example, or hanging basket, they say, oh my gosh, $15. $15, oh, this little pot's $4. Okay, now I want to get into why plants kind of cost what they do. What really goes into these plants? I'm going to refer to him as Dr. Bob from here on out because this is the term I know him by, and I just adore him. So the first question I have is, a little bit behind us here, I see some nice big 12-inch hanging baskets.
Yes.
Okay, so when did you have to start these?
All right, the reason why plants cost what they do is a lot of time and effort goes into producing these. These just don't appear in like 2 or 3 days or a week. These hanging baskets will be in production for a total of about 3 to 4 months for them to grow up to size. We started these actually in early to mid-February. We buy in little seedlings or we produce our own seedlings. And then of course they're planted and then the students grow them on, as we say, on to sale. And so that all takes time. It takes fertilizer, of course it takes soil, the containers, and of course the heating costs. All that goes into the factor to factor in the price for the plants.
Absolutely.
And same with the plants in the cell packs. The flats usually are in production, including the seedling stage and transplanting. That's usually anywhere from 1 to 2 months.
Right.
So I mean, we're talking a minimum of maybe 2 months to maybe 3 or 4 months before the plants are actually for sale. And of course, for greenhouse owners to make a profit or break even, they have to charge for it, which is of course cost accounting.
Absolutely.
And so anyway, and of course, a major cost in the industry is what you're seeing out here, labor. Labor is generally the largest cost of a greenhouse owner and has to pass on in the price of the plants.
And it takes time because on a daily basis, you know, even with these students or with employees, you know, what are some of the daily things? I know some people hear it from me, but let's hear it from somebody that has way more experience. What are some of the daily things that you guys have to do in here every day to ensure that people are getting these baskets by Mother's Day or Memorial Day, and that they're these big pretty baskets or these big, you know, full flowering pots, 4-inch pots? What's the daily routine?
Absolutely. Well, first and foremost is coming in and checking the crops for watering and fertilizer needs. And of course, that's going to become much more important as we get into longer days now that warmer weather is here. When the sun is out, sometimes the students are in here 2 or 3 times just a day just to water. So that's a major factor, watering and fertilizing. But they're also in here inspecting plants for pests, insect pests. In fact, they put out sticky traps, and there are some out here. Jessica, the grower who is watering, there's a sticky trap over there. She has to monitor insect pest populations to make sure that they're kept low. And if they start to rise, then we have to implement corrective procedures. The plants need to be inspected for any type of pathogens or diseases like root rots. Deadheaded, pinching is a major activity, and for bedding plants, some crops need to be pinched. In other words, the tips removed so they start to branch.
Right, that was what I was just going to have you explain. Pinching, I know everybody's going to be like, what is pinching? A lot of our viewers may not understand what pinching is. So define pinching maybe.
Sure. What pinching is removing usually it's the top ½ inch of a plant, and that removes, it's called apical dominance. And it's a physiological condition that's removed by removing the growing point and the couple immature leaves that allows the dormant lateral shoots to branch and make the lateral branches and make a fuller looking plant. So that's what pinching is, and it's an extremely important activity for a lot of floriculture crops.
Yes, and fertilizing. I know people that know me, and you've heard me talk last year, I know you guys think I fertilize overboard compared to once every 2 months. You know, a lot of our backyard gardeners, they think fertilizing is throwing some Miracle-Gro on once a month, and they don't understand why I fertilize as much. So up here, what is the routine for fertilizing? How often do
Yes.
these baskets and crops get fertilized?
That's a very good question, Heather. It's called constant feed or fertigation, and fertigation is a blend of fertigate and irrigate. Every time the students water, they apply a low or a low concentration of fertilizer nutrient element. So it's called fertigation. So every time, except maybe every 3 or 4 times, they do a plain water irrigation to leach out any excess fertilizer. So the plants get a constant but low amount of fertilizer to keep that growth going over time. And the students learn, as you remember,
Oh, yes.
the math to calculate how much fertilizer, what type of fertilizers are important to provide all those elements. And as you remember too, from mixing our own potting soil here, we also put some fertilizers in there, such as calcium and magnesium and microelements. So the students learned firsthand how important fertilization is and what all those nutrient elements, there are 14 of them, what they do for the plants.
See, I don't fertilize too much. I'm just doing how I was taught. Well, this is a great time to take a break. And when we come back, what we're gonna do, see these beautiful, wonderful people behind me? I'm gonna go sneak up on them and we're gonna start giving them, we're gonna let them give you the 411 on why they're here, what they like, and what they plan to do. Are they gonna do what I'm doing right now? Or are they gonna do something totally different? But we're gonna get the scoop from them because I know in our county alone, we have some kids and even young people that are kind of on the fence. You know, do they want to get into this area? Do they want to go into the horticulture? This is a growing industry with edibles, flowering plants. You know, hydroponics is growing, very large, very fast growing industry there. So when we come back, I'm going to let you guys, so if you want to go grab your kids or make sure you're recording this, we're going to go talk to the students. So if you have a child that's on the fence about this, maybe this will help make or break it. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Elaine Miller with Naturally Green Cleaning Service. My company serves both commercial and residential clients. We do general cleaning, spring and fall, empty homes to get them move-in ready, and final cleans for new construction. We use eco-friendly cleaning products that leave your home or office fresh, clean, and safe for you, your family, pets, or coworkers. Our focus at Naturally Green is to provide excellent customer service paired with outstanding work to build a relationship of trust with you, our clients. Having served the area 4+ years, we have had many referrals and testimonials that you can access on our website at www.naturallygreencs.com. Our work sells itself, therefore we have never had any contracts even with our largest commercial accounts. Call us today for your free quote and see what makes our company stand out.
Hi everybody, it's the Garden Girl. Bada bing, it is spring. And we are gonna have a contest here at TV2. So, here's how this is gonna go. For the next 3 weeks, I'm gonna ask a different question every week. And to find the answers, you're gonna go to last season's episodes at WJRTV2.com. I will be picking a winner on May 27th. So are you ready? Because here is the question. On episode 16, my tomato episode, the question is, what did I find when I didn't sucker my tomato plants? What did I find out when I didn't sucker my tomato plants? You're gonna email me your answer to heather@WJRTV2.com. Good luck.
Brilliantly practical scientist Harriet Tuttle's search for a more efficient life concluded with an unorthodox solution. Harriet created 4 more Harriets. Together they were a model of efficiency. However, while identical, they had their own interests and their own retirement plans, each customized with a Raymond James financial advisor, allowing them to enjoy life separately and together. Life well planned. See what a Raymond James advisor can do for you.
We're back, and I've got 2 students here with me. We have Tori. and we have Dan. And I just wanted to bring them in because it's one thing for me to talk being an alumni or Dr. Bob to talk as a professor, but I want you guys to hear from the students too. So I'm going to ask you, Dan, we'll start with you.
Okay.
When did you start in the program and how long have you been here already?
This is my second year in the program here at ATI.
Okay, so now are you going to be done after this year with the associates, or are you going down to C-Bus?
I will be going down to C-Bus in another 2 years because I'm a dual major. So I'll be getting my bachelor's in another 4.5 years.
Okay, okay. And Tori, what about you? How long have you been up here now?
I actually started the same year that Dan started. I came here in August of 2013, so I'm finishing up my second year, and I'll be actually transferring to Columbus next fall.
Okay, so both of these guys, they're going to leave here, transfer down to Columbus, and they're going to finish out and go for their bachelor's. So I guess my next question, I know what my two favorite things were up here, but you know, Dan, what are the two things that if you say you had to pick two favorite things you like with the program, what's your two favorite things to do up here that you actually like, enjoy, and look forward to?
I would definitely have to say I enjoy all the activities with the Greenhouse Club, playing around with our hydroponic system and all the fun things we get to do with that. We have a batch of carnivorous plants that we just got into. And probably eating the food that we have. We have some amazing cooks in the greenhouse program, and I'm surprised we're not all like 300 pounds.
What did you say Dr. Bob's saying is?
When we meet, we eat.
There you go, see? Now, and Tori, what about you? What were your two favorite things with the program?
My two favorite things would be, I'm actually a grower in this greenhouse that we're in right now on that side, and we get to experience spring before anyone else does. So in January, whenever everyone's still in their winter depression, we're in the greenhouse transplanting flowers, planting the hanging baskets for spring for everyone else. And so we're ahead of the game for as far as experiencing spring. And just like Dan said, I just love being surrounded by like other people in our program. We're all plant geeks. We all love food. We love to eat food, and that's probably my two favorite parts of being in the program.
There you go. See, I told you it was really laid back up here, guys. Now, you know, and I always kind of, it reminds me of the old Twisted Sister video. What are you gonna do with your lives? You know, what do you plan to do? You know, I knew I had a goal in mind when I was graduating from here. What about you? Do you have something you're envisioning already? I mean, I know you have a while yet, but.
I actually have a family farm and greenhouse that I'm planning on going back to. It's 5 acres of annual bedding plants and then 500 acres of vegetable production.
And you guys want to complain about your 10 by 20? Your 10 by 20 garden? How many acres again? One more time?
500.
500? Yeah, no, not for me. Okay, that's too many. That's too many tomatoes for me to take care of. Tori, what about you?
Well, actually, I want to eventually expand upon a business that I already started at my home. When I was 18, I applied for a grant through the USDA for part of their high tunnel initiative. And so I have a 30 by 96 high tunnel structure, and then an additional 1.5 acres of vegetable production that I supply to local restaurants and farmers markets. And so when I'm done here, I want to expand upon what I have started at home on my own, that I've started in the last 2 years while I've been here at ATI and learning here, and just expand upon that, what I have at home, and take it back to the farm as well.
Man, these are two go-getters. And I'm hearing both from them, the edible, the vegetables.
Yes.
You know, I called it for years, I say it again. Everybody is starting to, how do I want to say it? The edible industry has definitely increased. It's definitely probably, to me, one of the most popular areas. I don't see the growth slowing down anytime soon. I don't. And it's nice to know you grow what you eat. It's nice to know where it comes from. So I want to thank these students again for coming in and talking to us. I really appreciate it. And when we come back, stay tuned, because now we're going to tell you what happens with all of these plants that these students are growing. What's going to become of all of them? Stay tuned. You don't want to miss it.
We're always looking for better ways to do things. But with some banks, better for them isn't always better for you.
You've reached Megabank. Press 1 to hear your current balance. Press 2 to hear these options again.
Introducing free Kasasa checking. When you do stuff for us, like swipe your debit card or get e-statements, we make it even better for you with cash back and refunds on ATM fees. Kasasa, carried locally at First Federal Community Bank. Do you, Kasasa?
Well, I woke up to the sound of silence and cars. We're cutting like knives in a fist fight. And I found you with a tear in your eye, your head in the curtains and heart like the 4th of July.
You swore and said, we are not shining stars. This I know, I never said we are. If you're lost and alone, or you're sinking like a stone, carry on. May your past be the sound of your feet upon the ground. Carry on. Carry on, carry on. We are shining stars. Carry on, carry on. We are who we are.
Well, today up at OSU, you have found out what they grow, what they do, but now let's find out why. What are they going to do with everything? So, Dr. Bob, what happens with all these plants?
All right, well, we have a lot of uses for them. Of course, first and foremost, why all these plants are here is to give the students a first-rate education on how to produce floriculture crops. But with that being said, their life after students, there are two possibilities. Most of all these bedding plants have been grown for two main purposes other than for education. One is that we will be having two consecutive sales on Wednesdays, Wednesday the 6th of May and the 13th of May. The 6th of May, the hanging basket sale. The 13th of May, the bedding plants and flats and pots here at Ohio State ATI from 11 until 3 as a source of income. And the income that we generate just goes right back into the greenhouse account so that we can continue to buy plants and supplies to continue to provide our students an outstanding education. However, that being said as well, most of the plants grown here, at least bedding plants, are for the campus gardens. So we have an extensive campus garden collection here, both on our campus, and also we do own the Hawks Nest Golf Course just south of Creston, and so we are responsible for growing the plants as well for the gardens at the Hawks Nest. So we try to simulate a commercial environment here. The gardening crew, they do the designs, we get the orders as far as what we need to grow. The students grow them, they get their experience, and then they are then fanned out to or planted in all of our gardens. And then we also grow, of course, plants for sale to generate income to keep our program going. So that's what the life of these plants is after students.
Woo! So I really hope today that you guys got a really good taste of what happens from start to finish. And I think maybe you're probably sitting back in your chair going, that $4 doesn't seem like very much right now. And it doesn't, it really doesn't. So I really hope that you guys learned a little something about the watering, the time, the fertilization, and the amount of fertilizer that I always preach to you guys about. And I hope that you get a chance to come up here and visit them for the plant sale. Again, the days were May 6th.
And the 13th. The May 6th is all the hanging baskets. May 13th are the flats and pots of bedding plants you see here. And the sale is here in the greenhouse complex, both sales from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Awesome. See, now you know. So you can make a visit up here and kind of check out what these awesome students have grown this year. Okay, so since this is the very first episode of the Gardening Girl, and I'm all smiles because I am in my gear, I have to welcome you officially to the 2015 Buckeye State gardening season.
OH!